There's probably not a single person on Earth who wouldn't want to stay young forever. While immortality still belongs to the realm of science fiction, modern science reveals something remarkable. You can preserve a youthful body far longer than nature intended, if you know how. The question isn't whether aging is inevitable, but just how much we can slow it down. And according to 3 landmark studies, the answer might surprise you. A pioneering 2018 study found something remarkable. 70-year-olds who exercised consistently for decades had the cellular machinery of 20-year-olds. The proof came down to 2 critical components: capillaries and enzymes. Capillaries are tiny blood vessels that wrap around muscle fibers, delivering oxygen and clearing waste. In sedentary people, these networks gradually disappear. But in lifelong exercisers, they remain intact. The study showed that active 70-year-olds had capillary density nearly identical to healthy 20-year-olds, up to 90% higher than sedentary peers. The second component is just as crucial. Aerobic enzymes inside muscle mitochondria convert oxygen into usable energy. Again, older lifelong exercisers maintained enzyme activity indistinguishable from young adults, while sedentary individuals showed steep declines. Here's what makes this even more compelling. The benefits didn't require elite athleticism. Recreational exercisers maintained the same youthful capillary density and enzyme activity as competitive athletes. Consistent, moderate exercise was enough. The takeaway? Aging isn't as rigid as we once believed. By preserving capillary density and aerobic enzymes through regular movement, you're not just maintaining muscle size, you're preserving the underlying machinery that keeps muscles efficient, resilient, and biologically young. In 2008, King's College London study used an elegant experimental design, identical twins living different lifestyles. By comparing twins with identical DNA, researchers could isolate the pure impact of behavior on aging. The marker they tracked was telomeres, the protective caps at the ends of chromosomes. Every cell division shortens these caps slightly. When they become too short, the cell dies. Because of this, telomere length is one of the most reliable measures of biological age. The results were striking. Active twins had telomeres averaging 88 nucleotides longer than their sedentary siblings. Among the broader group, the most active individuals, those exercising around 200 minutes per week, had telomeres roughly 200 nucleotides longer than the least active. Since telomeres shorten by about 21 nucleotides per year, this translates to approximately a 10-year difference in biological age. But how is this possible? Exercise directly counters 2 major drivers of cellular aging: oxidative stress and chronic inflammation. Regular activity strengthens antioxidant defenses, reduces inflammation, and may even activate telomerase, the enzyme that repairs telomeres. The implication is profound. Identical DNA doesn't guarantee identical aging. Genetics may set the baseline, but lifestyle determines the outcome. 2 people with the same genes can age at radically different rates depending on how they live. The Duke Nuss Medical School Breakthrough Study goes deeper still. It doesn't just show that exercise slows aging, it reveals how, by identifying a genetic control system that governs muscle aging itself. At the center is a regulatory pathway involving 3 key players: FOXO, a group of protective longevity proteins; DEF1, an age-related gene that acts as a brake on cellular cleanup; and mTORC1, a central growth regulator that accelerates tissue decline when pushed into overdrive. Together, they control whether muscle cells build new proteins or clear out damaged ones. In youth, this balance is tightly regulated. But with age, especially in sedentary people, the system breaks down. FOXO declines. DEF1 levels rise, and mTORC1 shifts into overdrive. The result? Muscle cells focus on producing new proteins while neglecting cleanup, causing damaged material to accumulate. Over time, this cellular clutter leads to weakness, slow recovery, and age-related loss of skeletal muscle mass. But here's where exercise works its magic. Regular physical activity reactivates FOXO, which suppresses DEF1 and restores mTORC1 balance. The muscle cell can resume its natural maintenance, clearing damaged proteins, repairing tissue, restoring function. Exercise doesn't just slow deterioration, it actively resets the cellular environment to a younger state. This also solves a long-standing paradox. Scientists knew that mTORC1 was essential for growth, but harmful when chronically overactive. The missing piece was what controlled the switch. This study identifies DEF1 as that key regulator and shows that exercise is the signal that keeps it in check. Across all three studies, there's likely one more contributor worth mentioning: growth hormone. Regular training, especially resistance work, repeatedly spikes growth hormone levels. Over decades, these hormonal pulses probably support tissue repair, collagen synthesis, and the anabolic environment that keeps muscle architecture young, even if they're not the primary driver of what you've just seen. Three independent lines of evidence point to the same conclusion. Aging is far more malleable than we once believed. Through consistent movement, you're not just improving fitness, you're directly influencing the cellular and genetic machinery that governs how your muscles and your body age over time.